From what Wang did, it activated the traps and the ceiling broke down one by one. Xiang Miong shouted, "Run! Run for your lives!" And they all run like their life is depending on it. Wang shouted, "Run, beggars, run! Run like you are about to die!" The beggars shouted while running, "We are going to die! We really are!" Cheong Myeong said to Wang, "This is why I didn't want to travel with beggars. Are you that freaking stupid? I literally told you not to touch anything, but you had to ignore me and land us on this sheet. What happened to all the experience you had gained in Gyeongju?" The beggars shouted, "We are all in trouble because our branch leader is an idiot." Wang replied, "How the hell could I have known?" In his mind, nothing happened when the Mount Hua divine dragon plucked all those pearls. I only just touched one, and it just happened to be a trap. How the heck is this happening? But he was more alarmed when he looked at the ceiling and the crack is catching up to them. Wang shouted, "Run! If you slow down, you will die." Baekjun noticed something. He shouted, "The path is getting narrower. We need to run in one line." And all of them run in one line. Cheong Myeong was annoyed because the one in front of him, which is Wang, was too slow, so he jumps and kicks his back. He said, "Run faster. We will all die if you keep running slowly." Wang could only cry and blame himself for everything. In his mind, why the heck did I do that? I deserve to get beaten up. Cheong Myeong decided to run in the opposite direction by running in the side. He said, "Don't look back. Keep running as if your life depended on it. Keep running." There is nothing for his fellow disciples can do but to follow what their youngest said, which is to run. They run and run as fast as they can just to escape the breaking ceiling. Jojiol sees hope ahead. He shouted, "I see a light. There is a light at the end of the path." Because the collapsing ceiling is really near at their back. Baekjun told Wang to speed up and run, then he pushed him towards the light. Cheong Myeong shouted, "Hurry up, now jump, right freaking now," and he kicked the back of the beggar who was at the last to push them through. The force of the kick on Cheong Myeong led to a domino effect and all of them were pushed away. And before the ceiling could fully collapse, they were able to escape. Wang was panting from running. In his mind, "I did it. I am alive." The corridor collapsed, but it stopped afterwards. "We are safe here." The debris fully blocked the entrance and Cheong Myeong was left in there. The Mount Hua disciples are shouting, calling the youngest disciple. Jojiol and Yoon hurriedly dig the falling debris using their hands. Yoon shouted, "Cheong Myeong, can you hear me?" But there was no response. Wang also shouted, calling the Mount Hua divine dragon. Because of what happened, Wang could only kneel with full of regrets. In his mind, Mount Hua divine dragon, a young swordsman who is destined for greatness in the Gyeongju, has died in such a place because of me. Because of me. This is all because of me. After blaming himself for what happened, Wang for the last time shouted, "Mount Hua divine dragon." Then a sudden explosion from the entrance happened from a punch. Jojiol and Yoon were thrown away from that punch. The others could not believe of what happened. Wang, on the other hand, hurriedly grabs the hand of Cheong Myeong because he was happy that Cheong Myeong made it and he came back alive. But Cheong Myeong grips his hand with full strength. Wang said, "Wait a second, Mount Hua divine dragon." But Cheong Myeong was so angry. He said, "You probably have a lot to say to me, but there wouldn't be wars in the world if talking was all it took to solve the problems." Wang was crying, begging Cheong Myeong to wait. But Cheong Myeong told him that he need to take some beating first. The other Mount Hua disciples was silent because they already experienced that kind of beatings. On the other hand, the Wudang sect elders and disciples were running at full speed saying the word Amitabha. But the elder, Hyo-san, suddenly stepped into a trap and large numbers of blades approached them suddenly. Hyo-san gathered his key in his palm and attacked those traps and break it down. Because of those traps, Hyo-san could only think of one thing, Medicine Immortal. That vicious bastard. I cannot believe he placed so many dangerous traps in his graveyard. One of the disciples shouted, "Elder, the others are catching up." Hearing that, in Hyo-san's mind, everything is straying away from my plan. If all of those people who were after us had managed to enter, they would have either prevented each other from proceeding or even fought to death. However, contrary to my expectations, only a few have entered, and they are all strong individuals. What is worse is that they are working together instead of against one another. That means they are bent on defeating the Wudang sect, the greatest threat in this place, before anything else. Something is off. Something gone wrong somewhere. I can't help but think that someone is behind all these mishaps. It can't be that the young brat from the Mount Hua sect, can it? No, it can't be. That is impossible. He might be capable of petty tricks like leaking the information, but it would have been impossible for him to have planned everything else too. The disciples at the rear shouted, "Elder!" The pressure from the rear is getting stronger. They are slowly catching up. Hearing that the Hio-san called Hio-1 and said, "Hio-1, I want you to block as many of those who are closing in on us. I will select a few of our people and advance quickly." Hio-san called the young disciple, Jin Hyan, Mu Gil and Mu Pyung. "The three of you will follow me. We will get the energy pill." Then they were divided into two groups led by two elders. Those who are with Elder Hio-1 were left at the back to defend the pursuers. In Hio-san's mind, just stopping people from catching up and buying time is not the best strategy. Without me and the three of them, the rest will be under a lot more pressure from the enemy. But even if it means we have to sacrifice the majority of us right now, we must get the origin energy pill. Then a light appeared approaching them. Hio-san told the Wudang sect disciples to dodge since there is an incoming poison arrow. Hio-san used his ki to block almost all of the incoming poison arrows. Hio-san shouted, "Medicine Immortal, you are using extreme venom on top of hidden weapons, huh? What the hell is this place supposed to be?" All of them stopped running. Jin Hyan said, "Elder, I sense people in front of us." But the elder was alarmed on what is in front of them. In Hio-san's mind, "What the? I can see them within the darkness of this sword graveyard where no one is supposed to be in. Something is moving, however, I don't sense the energy of living at all." Hio-san shouted, "It is a Jiangshi. Damn it! What on earth is this place? Medicine Immortal, what the hell were you thinking?" The young disciples told the elder that the Jiangshi are coming. Hio-san said, "They are dead people who could not rest in peace even after their death. Let us take pity on them and put them into eternal slumber." The young disciples followed what the elder said and rushed to attack the Jiangshi to give them their eternal rest. While rushing to attack, Hio-san pondered, "Medicine Immortal. I might have been deceived by that name. If that is really the case, no one might make it out here alive." On the other hand, Hong Degwang was already beaten down by Cheong Myeong and his head was full of lumps from beating. Hong Degwang was frowning and he said, "This is so unfair. I am a grown man, you know." Cheong Myeong wants to beat him more. Jojial just stops him from doing that. Cheong Myeong could only pull himself from beating him more. In his mind, "I would like to pluck all of his hair out, but strangely I find my hand stopping itself when I am trying to hit someone who is older than me." Other beggars said, "He doesn't deserve to be killed by the Mount Hua Divine Dragon. He is not worth it. Let's just bury him. I knew that bastard would get us eventually into trouble. Blame it on our luck on meeting such a branch manager. If you want to die, you should just die by yourself." Poor Degwang could only cry because his allies also blamed him for everything that happened. Baekchan told Cheong Myeong, "Calm down. We shouldn't waste any more time here." Cheong Myeong told Degwang, "You should be glad this is all I did for you. Do not do something stupid from now on, okay?" Degwang cried more and said that he is sorry. But since they are in the middle of nowhere, Cheong Myeong asks if where is their location right now. Looking at the large door, Jojial said, "The door is closed. It doesn't look like anyone's gone in there before." Cheong Myeong thinks deeply about how did it happen. For him, the door was definitely there. Back then, while he was running together with the idiot Hong Degwang who was running for his life, he saw a different path on the side, and that path is what Cheong Myeong thought the path they should have taken. Cheong Myeong said, "There is a path that we should have taken, but a certain beggar caused the whole corridor to collapse." Everything that Cheong Myeong said hit Degwang's heart. He could only cry in his mind. In the outside world, though, I am one of the top individuals within the beggar sect who is treated as a veteran martial master. Cheong Myeong said, "Damn, it can't be helped then. We cannot go back there since the path is blocked. We will keep moving forward for now, so make sure you stick close." Xiang Miong called Wang and angrily said, "As for you, don't even dare touch anything strange again. If you do that again, I will cut off those hands of yours." Wang could only bows down while agreeing to what Xiang Miong said. Xiang Miong pushes the large door, then he suddenly stops. Baekjun asks, "What is wrong? Have you noticed something?" Xiang Miong replied, "No, something just feels fishy here." Xiang Miong told them to forget what he said and be prepared since they were now going to enter. When they entered and looked around the area, it was a very large cave behind that door. But while they are walking inside, there are noises that can be heard. Xiang Miong told them to not make any sounds, and Baekjun, who was confused, said that they would follow. Then they continue to walk deeper inside the cave, and noises still can be heard while they are walking. Cheong Myeong looked back at them and angrily said, "I just told you to not make any sounds." Yoon Young told him that the sound didn't come from them. Cheong Myeong angrily replied, "Then where did it come from? Are you saying that I made it?" Then a sudden flying creature flew over them, which made all of them look upward at the ceiling of the cave. In there, they saw a large number of bats hanging in the cave ceiling. Cheong Myeong said, "Those are vampire bats. Those are what red eyes bats are called." Wang asks, "Are you saying all of those red dots are actually bats' eyes?" Cheong Myeong replied, "What are you scared of? They are just bats. It is okay. We just need to get past this area quietly. Just keep walking." Seeing the large number of red eyes, Wang starts to ask if they are going to be okay. Baekjun suddenly said, "But Cheong Myeong, I have heard of vampire bats, but I have never heard of their eyes shining red." Cheong Myeong replied, "That is not what I heard though." Cheong Myeong suddenly gets the idea and said, "Oh, the ones with shining red eyes aren't regular vampire bats. They are the demonic vampire. That is the name." Cheong Myeong was seriously talking about the bats while the other disciples, including the beggars, are already running. He said, "From what I have heard, they are mystical creatures of Yunnan. Supposedly, if they bite you, then they will suck you dry until only your corpse is left. They are much bigger and heavier than normal bats, and their skin is so tough that it is hard even for martial master to deal with just a single one of them." Baekjun shouted, "Cheong Myeong, just run. If you get caught by them, there will be nothing left of you." As the disciples ran for their lives, Cheong Myeong was dumbfounded in his mind. Those bastards. They always talk about how we will go through life and death together, but they ran ahead of me just to survive. But Cheong Myeong was suddenly alarmed when the bats started to make a sound and fly over to chase him. Cheong Myeong runs and shouted, "Damn it! Why are there bats in this cave?" Wang replied, "Because it is a cave, that is why. Didn't you just say it was okay?" Cheong Myeong shouted, "That freaking Medicine Immortal. He is pure evil. Why would he capture those bats all the way in Yunnan to release them here?" Cheong Myeong called his dead senior brother and said, "Senior brother Chang Man, if you see that bastard in the heavens, please beat the shit out of him for my sake." His imaginary senior brother replied, "How could I beat the strongest person in the world?" Cheong Myeong replied, "Just attack him in a group like you always do. That is what you do to me all the time." Wang shouted, "Crazy brat. Why are you talking nonsense to yourself?" Cheong Myeong replied, "Ignore it. Just keep running." Cheong Myeong notices the presence of one demonic bat approaching to bite him, so he has no choice but to wave his hand to punch this bat. As he punches the demonic bat, he feels the strong vibration in his hand, and his hand receives bruises because of the hardness. Cheong Myeong said, "What happened?" That was practically like hitting iron. One beggar who was running away was bitten down by the demonic bat. He shouted, "My arm! I cannot move my arm!" Wang, while running for his life, shouted, "Damn it! Paralyzing poison? Why do they have it in addition to bodies that are tough as iron? How can such bats even exist?" Wang was also bitten down by the bat in the shoulder, so he had no choice but to turn around and fight back. He said, "Packing bat, mere creatures, you forced me to use the beggar sex martial arts." He used the technique called 8 Drunken Immortal Palms to attack the demonic bat, but he missed attacking the bat. In his mind, it dodged my attack. Do such monsters exist in this world? Then that bat suddenly flew again and bit again his shoulder. In Wang's mind, these monsters are getting more excited after smelling blood. There are too many of them. How are we supposed to deal with hundreds of such monsters? Even if I fight to my last breath, will I be able to take down at least 10 of them? At this rate, we will all get wiped out." Wang shouted, "Hey, Mount Hua Divine Dragon! Mount Hua Divine Dragon! Do something about them!" Hearing that Cheong Myeong has no choice but to jump in the air, Wang was shocked to see Cheong Myeong go into action and jump in the air so fast. Cheong Myeong creates a sword form aiming to attack right now.